All right, so it's still going live on LinkedIn. Hey guys, it's Brian and Magdalena. Say hi, Magdalena.
Hi.
What are
Hi,
we doing
guys.
today?
What are we doing today? Okay, Brian and I are always like living from a state of flow and just fun and curiosity to see what's going to show up next in our lives. So, first of all, we wanted to talk about how we deal with technological issues. So, just for us to go live on different social media platforms, this is the third time the charm, I'm hoping, of of testing this to see if we're actually going to be going live on the platforms that we want to go live on.
Right. So
So
what's
if you're
what's in it for
watching,
you, right? So good things comes in
yes,
threes. So this is a
yes,
three-peat. I know that when my technology works, it's like I don't have words for how fucking frustrated I get, which means I have work to do, right? So Magdalena and I, we had a little bit of friction earlier in the week. I felt a little unequally yoked, and it hit my trigger of you're not doing it right. Um, and instead of like fighting through that, we just decided, hey, how can we cooperate and figure this out? And it turns out when we put our two heads and hearts together, we just figured it out actually. So that's what we're doing right now. This is the check of that. And so my invitation for you is like, if your technology is not working, it's so much better to who and not how that. So like I don't have to be the master at everything. I have friends that are really, really good at things. And it's no less on me if I ask for help.
I have Chat GPT. That's really, really good at things.
You do. And like props to you because like technology doesn't come easy like computer tech. Like you're good with music tech and dance technology and also quantum technology. But when it comes to computer technology, that's not your primary language.
I like that you made that distinction of computer technology versus other technologies because you're right. We're operating in so many different types of technology.
Indeed. Yeah.
So I was just going to add, if you're watching this on Facebook, check, we did that right. If you're watching this on Instagram, check. If you're watching this on Brian's LinkedIn, check. And if you're watching it on both our YouTube channels, then we got it right the third time. We'll see. We won't know till we know.
It's hard to tell. So if you're on Instagram right now and you see this, just message in because I don't see that the way I see us connected to Facebook. And then the added advantage is when you decide to go live for your shows, you can reach out to us and not do all the things that we did to mess this up and just get the right answer. So that's where we are right now.
Yep. Anyway, I just looked at my Instagram and Facebook. I don't think I'm live on there.
It has a little tick mark through it. I think you're live on Facebook though, because mine
It's,
shows that there are zero, where your Instagram just has a tick mark through it.
oh, I am live on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are.
Okay. Yes, just not Instagram. That's all good. At
And
least
then
one
we
of them
gotta
worked.
we gotta we gotta redo your YouTube. I didn't set that up right either.
Sounds good. Okay.
All right, Facebook. I know I haven't said hi to you in a long time. Sorry. I spent a lot of my time on LinkedIn, especially YouTube. So hi, and
He's got some great YouTube videos, Facebook people on Brian's Facebook. Check out his YouTube videos. He's kind of a video pro these days now.
kind of yeah. I'm an apprentice in all things.
Yeah.
Freedom Sherpa on YouTube is the spot. Doing another video today. Actually, how to turn the brakes off. I came from a world where more power, more strength, more is the answer. And so, like with helicopters, if there's too much friction in the engine itself, I'm going to burn the engine out. What does that look like for humans? It looks like fucking burnout. Like if you have the urge right now to like bang your face into the wall and maybe grind your teeth a little bit, the answer is not more power. It's like, how do I turn the brakes off? So flow state Saturdays, 2 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Mountain. We're going to talk a little bit about this. I've got a video coming out on this very thing today. So how can I go from like 60 months of grind and hustle culture stuff to 90 days of alignment? Like, which sounds better to you? 60 days of hell or 90 days flowing, right? So there's a lot to be said right now for optimal training, not maximal training. I learned this the hard way. Any asshole can go hard in the CrossFit gym. The true professional knows how to rest, how to reload, and how to calibrate. So Magdalene is an expert when it comes to alignment. What feels out of alignment? I'm not very good at that. I just end up sending more power into the thing, and I make more friction.
Well, and once you feel the friction, that's your sign that you're out of alignment. And then you can get back into alignment simply by recognizing the signs. I wanted to say one thing though, because you were talking about burnout, and it's interesting that we call it burnout because it's kind of the same as an engine, right? Like it's just an override. So there's actually, and there's a few different ways to channel energy to kind of like overcome burnout, I should say. But one way is rest for sure, to take a pause. Another way is actually to release pent up energy. So it could be resting, but it could be like creatively releasing things. And I noticed that Brian and I, as we were like figuring out this technology stuff, and after we like finally got it, we started speaking in accents. And to me, like speaking in Italian in a very Italian accent or a very Indian accent is a way to release my
Oh, this is
creative.
the most funniest thing when I listen to the Christmas videos
Yes.
in the
Or
Bengali.
the Habibi, the girls in the shisha place, Habibi.
Oh yeah, and I can't quite do the head thing.
That's the more Arabic one. I don't know, but for me, like things like accents, it can be like the silliest thing, and it just like helps release that pent up energy. Obviously, through things like laughter, which accents make me laugh, so that's a nice segue into laughter.
Yeah.
But also, you can do it through movement. You can do it through like sighing, like. Okay. Let's all take a big sigh together. Yeah.
Why have you become? Yeah, I actually use that technique. Two things. First, we had a pretty heavy session today in Weirdos and World Changers, the morning dojo that I facilitate. If you're watching this, you're welcome to come join. Just shoot me a message, dojo, and I'll send you the calendar link for you to meet the team.
Can you tell people what dojo is?
Dojo, yeah, it's my morning mastermind. So if you've heard of like morning pages where you like free write about what is like the rocks bouncing around in your mind, we do that live. We do energy, we do breath, and we hold each other accountable.
But really why is it called dojo?
Dojo. I like sparring with fear. I try to make fear go away. I was a bomb technician. I did everything I knew how to do to make terror go away, so I never had to feel the fear of death ever again. And it's not possible. It wasn't possible for me. I exhausted every single way I knew how to do that. And so now if I can recognize fear, treat it like a sparring partner, that sparring partner is going to bring out my best self. And
dojo is the Japanese art of sparring, correct?
It's the place where we meet to practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the idea, if I laugh at the devil, he shall surely run away. And so the people that learn martial arts the fastest or shooting or any kind of like combat skill, if I fuck up and I can laugh at myself, I'm going to learn at least twice as fast as the people that are like, man, I suck. And then the other thing, my little bitch voice comes out frequently, especially in the wintertime. I really don't like cold water, and it's so good for me. I've done probably 1,200 ice baths. I'm a Wim Hof guy. Nice. Except for twice, my inner bitch voice sounds like, I don't want to get in the ice, it's so cold. And so I'll actually use that voice out loud because it sounds ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Nice.
Powerful, using voices.
I love cold water. I hate cold air. I don't like shivering in the air, but if I can breathe through the coldness of the water, I actually don't even shiver. It's a different feeling. Water to me, like cold water, is so energizing. And one of my daily practices pretty much is doing like pretty cold showers in the morning. Or if I don't have time for a cold shower, I will dunk my face in a bowl of ice water. Nice. Not for too long, maybe like 30 to 60 seconds. Like if I start to feel pain, I don't want to get.
That's your secret to youthful skin because it makes collagen.
It's actually my Polish genes.
Oh yeah.
But yes, it does make collagen, and then all the other herbs and foods and supplements that I take.
It's not the only thing she does. It takes great care, and there's just something. I was a Navy diver, and so the mammalian dive reflex takes over. And so when I have cold water on my face, my heart rate drops 20 to 30%. It's just calm being in cold water, and the body just resets itself.
It's amazing. It's such a great feeling. And I love the contrast. I know you don't love saunas, but I love saunas. I love to sweat a lot. So I love the contrast of the sauna and the cold shower. So what I would do is first sauna and then cold shower after. Because I've tried doing the cold tub or a cold shower first and then the sauna, and it took me so long to like heat up in the sauna. So I did it the other way around.
Yeah.
And another thing that I like to do is before I enter the sauna, I like just to get my blood circulation going. So I'm already kind of warm. So it takes less time to heat up in a sauna, is like either work out, or if I'm just at home and I'm using my sauna blanket. Amazing investment, by the way, you guys. It's a blanket. You go into, your head is out. It's like a sleeping bag. You zip yourself up and you turn it on and it heats you up, and it's amazing. Very easy to clean too. It's just like plastic. You just clean it in like 2 minutes after. Anyway, I like to do like yoga, a little bit of yoga, a little bit of dancing, skipping rope, or like twists, like jumping twists that are really good for fascia release, lymphatic system and fascia release. And then I go into the sauna. So yeah, that feels really good.
So one of the things I learned in my cold bath facilitation, that like for women really colder than 57 degrees starts to have diminishing returns. Mm-hmm. Anything below 68 Fahrenheit. What's 68? That's basically room temperature. Is that 17?
I don't know, but not too cold for women. It's true.
Right. So men, we do much better in cold. I wouldn't go below 47 degrees Fahrenheit. You can do it. That's kind of like showing off. And my time with Wim, he talked about the cold. Like, how do you beat the cold? He's like, you can't. You just become it. So if you fight it, it'll kill you. But if you can be with it and listen to it, it opens up new things. And so for me, when I facilitate ice baths, when I like somebody's first time, they're like, hey, smile. And they're like, fake smile. And then the real smile takes over. And then the serotonin and dopamine hits, like to the same level as cocaine. And the difference between cocaine and actually earning dopamine. And if you haven't studied the dopamine cycle, there's a war happening right now for your dopamine. And Diary of a CEO podcast, look that up with Steven. And the dopamine podcast is game changer. It's another dimension. So your phone steals it. So if it's easy to get dopamine, cocaine, cell phones, porn, alcohol, whatever, the body's going to quickly downregulate that because it's unnatural. But if I earn it through like an ice bath, I'm going to get the same dopamine reaction, except it's going to continue to grow for the next 2.5 hours. So something to think about. Men, we do better in cold. We don't do as well in sauna, where the inverse is true for women. They do much, much better in sauna. They're adapted for that. Where cold below 57, you certainly can do that, but it's not optimal training for you in the adaptive outcomes that we want.
Interesting. I love all the scientific explanations behind all these things. So I actually wanted to go back a little bit to cold and women. I think this is very important to talk about because we throw around all these hacks and lifestyle habits and stuff, but they're very particular to like your age. Like if you're a man, if you're a woman, it really matters. You can't just like, we're all bio-individual. It also matters like, what are your current cortisol levels at? What are your hormones at? You have to really take all those things into consideration. But in terms of like men versus women, I wanted to share something, and I'll read a little blurb about it because it'll say it better than I will. But basically, for cold showers, women should only do it during the follicular phase of their cycle, which is the first week of their period, basically. And I just want to quickly read here what it says is that this cycle-aware approach is to avoid disrupting hormones. The cold acts as a controlled stressor, raising cortisol and norepinephrine, which can be beneficial in the follicular phase, but too taxing during the luteal phase. If a woman does it during the latter
phase, right after menstruation is done, please excuse my ignorance. I don't know the 4 phases.
Exactly. Right after menstruation is done is the follicular phase. Yes. If a woman does it during the latter phase, the cortisol will spike and knock out progesterone, keeping it from releasing or greatly reducing its production. This can lead to irregular periods or difficulty getting pregnant for those who are trying, and terrible moods, as this is our happy hormone. And then last part here. It is recommended if you're going to do it, start lukewarm and then lower the temperature to as low as you can take, but don't go lower than 15 to 16 degrees Fahrenheit for
Perfect.
those who can stand it,
Yeah.
which is about 8 to 9 degrees. There we go. Answered your question. So yeah, we have to be very mindful before we start applying all these hacks that people mention. Like, do your research a little bit and even talk to like ChatGPT and be like, hey, can I do this thing if I'm a woman and I'm 44 and I have high cortisol, etc., and then decide if it's safe for you to implement. Yeah.
Or listen to yourself, right? The game is to feel better afterwards. And if you don't feel better afterwards, I've overtrained, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else did I want to say? Also, so most of my followers are men. What would you like us to know, Magdalena, about the cycles? So if these men are in a partnered relationship with a woman, what's important to know about those cycles?
Well, you know what's very interesting.
I want to add one more thing before I get the answer to that. Women, as you're listening to this also applies to fasting. So intermittent long-term fasting would be better done in the first week then, because we don't want to increase stress in the other 3 phases, but maybe in the first one. And men and women handle fasting much differently. Like, it's easier for men to do 3 days of fasting, where that can greatly affect your cycle and hormone production. And like in men, fasting actually increases growth hormone and testosterone, where if women fast too much, it actually destroys proper hormone regulation, right?
Yes. And you know, it's kind of funny. So I'm 44, I think. Yes, I'm 44.
Allegedly.
I'm like, or 45. No, still 44. Yes. I'm in 44 in my 8th year because 4 plus 4 is 8.
Nice.
So, and I don't know that much about menstruation, like in terms of the cycles like that I got from the Google. But what I know much more about is like menopause and perimenopause, because that's what I'm interested in preparing myself for. And I wanted to say the reason I've never really like gone down the rabbit hole of learning a lot about the female cycle is because my hormones are so balanced because of my diet and the things that I take, is that I don't experience mood swings. Like, I don't experience PMS basically. I don't have the bloating, the pain. Like, all that happens is I bleed once a month. Like, I menstruate once a month. So I actually don't know a ton, but I do know a little bit. So I'll say that usually like women tend to have a higher sex drive between, like, in the middle of like from when they menstruate to when they menstruate again in the 2 weeks.
The second week, right?
Yes. And also when they're on their period, sometimes they go within. It's like a time to kind of like slow down, not be too active. And if a woman is very active and they actually slow down during their menstruation period, see how you feel, ladies. Like, you might feel better. You might have more energy after if you actually take the time to rest for those few days, those 4 to 5 days or whatever it is, depending on you. So yeah, but there's like entire books about it. But again, I would, if you're dating somebody that has like really mood swings up and down and just are very hormonal, like, send them to me and I'll help them just regulate their hormones, because you can do it through so many different simple things, such as regularly taking magnesium bisglycinate.
Hey guys, just mark on your calendar when that is. And so, in that when it's time to push physically, if you're leading that part of your relationship, and like the doing part would be the first week, right? And handle more stress. The love, the sweetness in that is the second week, right? And then when do we show up as the nurturers? That's the third week. That's the chocolate and the tears and the hugs and the nurturing. So like, if you start paying attention to her cycle, when her water boils and she knows that you're tuned in with her cycle, you just won, like, big time, right? And then, so I'm just going to mention a second. So I have 2 things. So alignment is a big deal, right? So my thing is 60 months of grinding, or 90 days of finding alignment, right? So starting to understand the feminine cycle for the women listening is important to know. And so there's some female CEOs, they're like, hey, I'm not going to handle that this week because I'm in the middle of the hardest part of my cycle. Can you handle this for me, please? and they do. So just ask what you need. If you don't have the capacity, you don't have the capacity. There's a time to go into the red, and put the Gollum's ring on enforcing things if you have to. But if you can afford not to, that's better done maybe another time of the month.
Yes.
Guys, we have a cycle, actually. I didn't know this till most recently, but it's predicated on our testosterone production. So you guys know this first thing in the morning was when testosterone is the highest. Anybody know when it's the lowest? Right about now for me, 5 o'clock. I don't take meetings at 5 o'clock because I am shit in that. I have the lowest energy. I have the lowest drive. My dopamine's gone. This is a great time for me to meditate or yoga and just honor my 24-hour cycle. So, men, we have cycles, and just start to notice when you feel fucking dangerous and when you're like, I just want to be held.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's been a pretty good 20-minute impromptu live. If you guys have experts on the feminine menstruation cycle, love to interview. And I'm pretty ignorant to that. And you're very, very good about how to solve it. But
Yes.
I would be really interested in how do we navigate the monthly cycle. I think that would be useful. Mm-hmm. Anything you want to share with the folks watching?
Well, there's also a lot of natural ways to boost testosterone, by the way, for both men and women. Women also need testosterone and can often be low in it. So lots of natural ways to do that, but I won't go into that right now. But I did want to say, if you guys want to continue the conversation more about getting into flow state, then join us on the Flow State Saturday live calls. They're, again, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll be on it this Saturday, and come join. Dr. Jake Felice will be with us as well, and he's a naturopath who likes to surf.
He's such a rad human. I hope you guys get a chance. He walks around outside because he has to. That's how he finds flow. We had our first troll on our show. That's so unprofessional. I'm I love it. I love the blue sky. I love that he's out in nature. So
yeah,
all roads take us there.
He also plays the flute, which is amazing. Yeah, he's a very cool guy. So you get to meet him on Saturday if you tune in.
So yeah, guys, thanks for spending some time with us today. Hopefully this was useful. And then we want to hear from you. What would be most useful to you in your life, relationships, love life, business, about being in a flow state?
Yes.
That's it for me, Brian Muka, Freedom Sherpa. Signing off.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.